Okay, so here we are. Basically, I know some of you guys, or most of you guys know how to change the oil on a Corvette and in general how to change the oil in a car. But I'm just producing this video here just for some of those that don't really have a reference, and if you're just getting started or if you're just going to do this simple job and save yourself some of the money, then by all means, this is the way to do it. Now, on the Corvette, on the driver's side, you're going to have the actual oil pan bolt here, and you're going to have the oil filter right here itself. Okay, if you can see that, it's pretty much located right here. Right now it's blue color, got it the original. What you want to try to do is really get the appropriate factory one. Don't try to cheap out and get sort of like the generic auto parts name. You know, get the AC DELCO products themselves. That's what these cars fit best, or they behave best with. So first things first, you want to loosen up this oil pan bolt in here. Okay, and this is going to be a hex bolt size 15 millimeters. You know, in this car you've got a combination of some hex and some some metric and some standard sizes, and this will be a 15 millimeter. What you want to do is, I already did this, I kind of loosened it up with a simple 3/8 inch socket, so that's easy enough. You want to grab the pan, the catch pan here, and consider that some of this oil is going to stream this way, so you want to kind of have it, and you want to kind of balance between when it's done streaming, you want to have this distance here and it'll kind of arc in here, so you kind of want to gauge it. Then as you unscrew this, you want to unscrew it by hand. You want to push slightly in to the bolt here. You want to slightly just put some pressure on it so that this bolt doesn't go flying. I've learned my lesson in the past, so one of the things I have in here is actually a little mesh, so it kind of catches anything that may fall, so I don't have to be digging around. And trust me, if you've changed oil enough times, it'll happen to you one day. So you want to reach in here, you want to put some pressure, slightly unscrew it. Okay, you'll see some of it start to drop. Okay, if you keep enough pressure, you'll kind of feel when that point is. It'll feel kind of loose, and it'll start to kind of teeter around there on edge, and then you just want to plop, release it. Simple as that. I usually just drop the screw in there. Okay, and okay, so if you notice, pretty much all the oil's been drained out here. One of the things you also want to do is after you uncap this and you let and you start letting the oil drain out, what you want to do is you want to go up to the top and make sure that you have your oil cap uncovered from your valve cover, and that's going to help basically push the extra oil out, and just make sure that all that gets out there when you're doing this change. And one thing you want to do is you want to make sure that before you put your bolt back on, you want to make sure it's clean. Just want to give it a quick little cleaning, and then you're just going to thread it in by hand really softly. Okay, no pressure. You know, get there to about finger tight. Okay, kind of clean up the area. All right, clean that up. All right, make sure that's bolted on, tightened up there by hand. Then you're going to go in with your actual wrench and again your 15 millimeter socket. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and just do a tighten it here. Again, tighten by hand. You don't want, there's two things you really don't want to do down here. One is you don't want to over tighten. Okay, so you kind of just want to hand tighten. Two is you don't want to over tighten, because you can end up ripping the threads, and I've done that before, and it's really no party. I ended up having to retap the hole, and that's the only way to really do it, and then it becomes a mess, because then you have obviously metal shavings and you have to clean it, and it's just a mess. So it's better for you just to tighten it here. Tighten it to a good amount. You also don't want to over tighten it so that you distort the metal. Remember, these are kind of soft metals, they're not that hard, and you want to make sure that that's not overly tightened. Then you want to go ahead and you want to try to remove the filter, and again, I usually hand tighten these. You don't have to overdo it when you're putting on a new one or an old one. you can really finger tighten it pretty good, and it'll stay, it'll keep. There's a gasket in the seals, and you want to make sure that when you remove this filter, you want to clean the gasket area, and you want to put a little bit of oil on the actual gasket itself before you install the new one back in. In this case, I'm not changing this one because basically this is more of another procedure where I am trying to turn over the engine, and so right now I'm just kind of draining out the oil, but I'm giving you the run through on how this is done. And what you're going to do is you're going to unscrew the filter, drop some of that oil into the drain pan, okay, leave the filter upside down, grab the new filter, get a little bit of clean oil, kind of just do a finger, do it around the rim of the new oil filter in the gasket, and then you're just going to pop it right in, and you're going to screw it right back in again, finger tight. It doesn't have to be crazy tight, and then you're off. Then you're just going to go back up on top to the valve cover, pour your new oil in, and you're good to go. So you can do an oil change pretty good. Shouldn't take you more than 15-20 minutes, and the big chunk of that is really just going to be waiting for the oil to drain out. So hope that works for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this, and see you around.